I'm hoping this doesn't happen again, but like I said, when you play with these cars with stock block, you know, so anything happens.
So it's been about 3 months since Ali was supposed to race the cream colored Rap 335 that belongs to Carlos. We were going to the location and his car magically or mysteriously just took a dump. The N54 just blew up. There was a hole on the side of the motor. What is that noise? Something just happened to his car. And it ended up being an unfortunate situation, but sadly it is part of the game, especially when you're pushing that much power on a stock motor. Well, good news guys, the car is up and running. She's running a lot better than ever, and she's gotten a few upgrades along the process as well. Some pretty tasteful ones that we're probably gonna go over today. I'll have Ali and Carlos talk to you guys about it, but I'm very excited to see this car back on the road, run really good, and eventually hopefully get up to those power goals that the previous setup was onto, and you know, stay healthy. I know the one thing you guys want to know is what was the, I guess, the reason the engine blew up. We'll talk about that a little bit later. Wanted to ask Carlos here how he felt about the entire experience, because very few people have gone through that experience where you work so hard towards building a car, spending so much money, and then it just mysteriously takes the shit. How hard was that for you, bro?
In my case, I guess I'm financially stable, so it wasn't really as tough, but I mean for other people it could be, you know, a big burden for them in their pockets especially. Yeah. But I mean, it's part of the game at the end of the day.
Well, I'm sure you kind of expected that there was a chance of that happening.
Yeah, exactly.
Once you push a stock motor up to 600, 700 horsepower, you know you're gambling at that point. And I know I'm gambling too. I've seen it happen too many times on forums and stuff like that. So things like that happen, but hopefully you guys can learn something with today's video. We'll kind of try to address or explain why the engine might have blown up. But first, go ahead and pop the hood. We want to go see what the engine bay setup looks like, because you got a bit of an upgrade. It looks prettier in there now. That's the thing, man. When you guys come back, you got to come back bigger than before.
You got to come back stronger.
And this guy came back pretty damn strong. So here's what the engine bay looks like. We have this N54 that he acquired from Ali. Ali actually had this N54 sitting in his garage for almost a year. We were waiting for either his engine on his E90 or my E90 to blow up, and then we would have dibs, but somebody beat us to it. So Carlos got dibs on this one. So of course, Ali went ahead and refreshed the motor, took care of a lot of the stuff. You guys did rod bearings on this car too, right?
Put king bearings.
Okay, did some kink bearings, which is actually bearings that I'm looking to do on the F30 as well. The turbo looks a lot prettier now too, man.
Yeah, I got it powder coated. One of my boys.
He reached out to me too, so he powder coated. That's the beauty about having a top mounted turbo, is that you can actually, I guess, customize it in a way where people can see it when you pop the hood. Bottom up, not so much, man.
I did a twin catch can setup by Perry Motorsports.
Sweet.
For the low and high side.
Yeah.
Added this little power steering cap.
BTT.
It's just aesthetic, and I got an M3 cowl. Cleans up the engine bay better.
That's definitely the most expensive thing that a lot of people don't like to bite the bullet on.
I got a little cheap mod that you can do from the 335D. Is the air intake duct.
So instead of circling air this way, we'll do it to the opposite side this way, right? And you're not really running a filter on that turbo. You just have a turbo card,
yeah.
Which is perfectly okay.
And I also changed the headlights too. So.
Oh yeah, that's right. So he just upgraded the tail lights. Look at that. Yeah, it looks pretty aggressive. So you got the carbon grills, you got the headlights. I mean, the whole package. You got the exposed intercooler up front, so people know what's up. For those that are not wanting to pay this, I know it's like $700 for the kit. It's so worth it. Don't do the cow delete. Don't ruin your DME. Just do it this way, or if not, at least do a workaround with that. This guy should be doing on his channel pretty soon, right? Some kind of cow delete-ish that's safe for the DME.
Yes, that's if I'm not broke.
You're not broke, so we're gonna see it.
I'm broke on every video.
So what exactly did he do to the engine to refresh it before you swapped it into the car?
This.
Just this?
I guess we did all the seals, gaskets, hardware.
Motor mounts, trans mounts.
We did the IS motor mounts, which are stiffer motor mounts.
Oh, that's right.
CSF,
I did see you do that.
CSF radiator. We have a lot of those everywhere.
We do have a lot of those. So if you guys are Oh, well, we got one there.
There's one in that car. There's one in that car. There's one over there.
Listen, every car that makes it to the shop gets a CSF radiator upgrade. That's just a fact. Yeah, so for those of you guys that always DM me complaining about your engine oil temperature being too high, getting too close to 250, getting a high performance CSF radiator upgrade is an absolute must. It doesn't cost much more than an OEM one. It's more robust, so it's going to be reliable longer since it's all metal versus the plastic end tanks, and it keeps the coolant, it keeps the oil temperature lower because there's more coolant surface and better fins construction. So if you guys are interested in one for your automatic or manual 335, I'll leave links down in the description below. And for other BMW performance mods, you can also check out the website vehiclevirals.com. This is something that we were super excited to get on. So he had the questionable JB4 running in his car before. So he was what was that? I'm gonna bleep that out so you guys don't know what he said. But anyways, we moved on to motor reflex. So he was using JB4 to control boost, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's just not as consistent. Some people use split second IAC, which I have on the E90, but it's such an outdated program and hardware that it just doesn't have consistency, and it doesn't have all the features that you get with this. Which this guy studied it and knows more about this than anybody in here right now. So why did we upgrade?
Because the AIC is actually a batch fire. This is like
sequential fire.
Sequential fire, so it will fire based on the combustion, whatever. There's a lot of
technical terms
and things like that, but obviously the system itself is a newer system. So for 2022 standards, this is it.
This is it right here. That's the real
like deal. JB4 and AIC is going to be obsolete in about 6 months to a year. I don't know. So you can control your port injection. You can also integrate the boost controller, and then there's also 3 other outputs that you can wire it in. So you have, like, let's say oil pressure. You can monitor that through Reflex or something else.
I think they have an ethanol analyzer that you can add into that.
So his car has full flex fuel kit because he has the Reflex Plus. Reflex Lite only controls your manifold injectors, and it doesn't do anything else. The Reflex Plus, which is $200 more, controls your manifold, flex fuel, and if you want to control your boost all at the same time. In his instance, he's controlling boost himself. So we have his max solenoid hooked up to a GFB, which he also bought this time, because before the car was controlled through JB4, which I don't think it's that consistent.
No, it's very questionable. I hate to give my opinion about JB4 because I've never. Well, I'm gonna tell you why. It's because I've never rocked it before, and it's hard for me to say anything bad about it if I haven't used it. I mean, but you've used it before. You can give us the pros and cons.
I mean, JB4 at the end of the day, like you're saying, it's not like this full flash tune. JB4, I mean, you have rolling anti-lag, two-step, all the good stuff. But
so there's pros and cons.
Yeah, there's pros and cons to it. I mean, you get all the features and stuff, but at the end of the day, like I was always having issues with like boost cut or like, you know, it was just misfiring here and there, and like we can never figure it out. But running Reflex, bro, I haven't had a single misfire.
That's why David Shoup was pushing me to get motive Reflex for so long. We can't really give you guys a definitive answer to why the engine blew. We can kind of speculate. If you guys watched the video where we originally were going to race and the event happened, you can kind of hear some things happening. I'll insert the clip right here. If you haven't watched the video, I recommend you guys watch it. It's a good video, other than his engine blew up. But other than that, the engine was pretty. The video was pretty cool. We'll ask Carlos here because he has an idea, and he has some souvenirs from his old engine that kind of pieces together why it all happened. Again, we're speculating. We're not engineers. We weren't inside of the engine when it happened, so the most we can do is kind of guess, or at least give a highly educated guess.
The speculation that I have, when I was driving my car, it would smoke from time to time, but I just never really paid attention to it because it was just like light smoke at first, and then it started getting heavy. You even noticed it too when we first met up.
Yeah, because we were at Sunoco, and you even told us there was a little bit of smoke coming from your exhaust, and you thought, you know, well, whatever.
Yeah, so I thought it was my PCV valve or like, you know, something stupid, you know, so I just never really paid attention to it. But obviously it had to be the rod bearing because, I mean, the rod was loose, so it was hitting this whole time. That's what I'm speculating. And this is the only thing that came out in the pieces. Holy and it was cylinder 3. So, and it wasn't tune related. Everybody has said it was tune related. It has nothing to do. I'm tuned with CD919. He's the best tuner in my opinion for N54s. But that's, you know, biased opinion. Usually with rod bearings, I mean, you would get a noise, right? Like a rattle or like, you know, like a knock.
Well, judging from the F30 that
we have like a little faint ticking noise coming from the bottom.
Yeah, faint ticking. I didn't really like have a noise like that.
I mean, your car is straight piped, isn't it?
I mean, I couldn't really, I guess I couldn't hear it, but.
F30, you can hear it loud as day because it's a stock system.
This is the outcome though.
Yeah, let's take a look at it.
So I was running 26 PSI when this happened, but if you watch the video, I wasn't really like full throttle when it happened. I was just cruising.
This is not even proportional. This is not what it's supposed to be, the shape.
Yeah,
it's like toast.
this. I'm hoping this doesn't happen again, but like I said, when you play with these cars with stock block, you know, so anything happen.
it's been jet spec.
It's been jet spec.
It's been jet spec, this guy right here. This is the man. I mean, let's be honest, bro. You built my E90. It's like almost 2 years ago.
It hasn't blown up yet.
It hasn't blown up yet. We blew up the turbo before we blew up the E90, which by the way, we have an update for that, and we'll get to that in another video. That's the thing with pushing these cars to its limits. You guys always ask us how we managed to make 700 horsepower, 600 horsepower out of these stock N54s. I mean, you can make it. The question is, how long can you sustain it? That's the biggest question. How long can you sustain it? I guess there's so many factors involved with it. How often you drive the car, how hard to push it, are you really like pegging off the red limiter? Is the maintenance done, which is one thing that a lot of you guys do not follow. Maintenance has to be done no matter what. Even if you have to pay $3,000 in injectors, well guess what? If you want to make power, you're gonna need to do that. Things like oil leaks, oil filter housing gasket, and your belt getting sucked into the motor. That's another thing you guys cannot disregard, do not ignore. It's a cheap and easy fix that can save your engine. Just do it the right way.
This guy.
What is this guy doing? So you've been daily driving it or what?
Yeah, I mean, I work overnight, and my schedule's kind of messed up, but I've been driving it here and there, and every single time I do pulls, it's like beautiful.
Yeah, so what's the current state of it? Are you running like spring pressure?
No, right now, I mean, I'm going little by little because I don't want to just jump to 26 PSI and then that happens again. But
oh, come on, stop putting that in the air.
But, I started at gate pressure, I sent my logs to CD919. He checked, everything was checked out good. So right now, we're at 32 duty cycle and it should be like 18 PSI.
18 PSI.
I mean, it's still pretty quick for what it is.
Yeah, no, and it sounds sexy, bro, because you still have that TR51 mod. It sounds amazing. I heard a clip of the car like driving by on his channel, on one of his videos, and that sounded pretty damn sick. I could only imagine once you get it up there, you know.
We can go for a ride.
Yeah, let's go for a ride, man. I'm actually anxious to go inside of it. I don't think I've ever took a ride on it even before you blew it up, so. We brought up Carlos's car outside so you guys can get a better look at what it looks like. He's pretty popular on Instagram. Follow him if you have any questions about his builds. I know a lot of you purist guys probably won't agree with this build. It's a little bit over the top. I'm personally an OEM plus type of guy, but I can appreciate all builds, to be honest. But here's a better look at the engine bay now that we got better lighting. Has like a red theme to it, even with the beauty cover. The headlights, like from a modern G Series 5 Series. The M3 front bumper, the splitter, the wheels, the cream color wrap I think is pretty cool. I don't think I've showed you guys the interior, so I'll show you guys here real quick. Here's what the interior looks like. Saddle brown, aluminum trim, RTD style shifter, I'm not entirely sure. And you got the GFB boost controller right there. You got the carbon fiber side skirt extensions here. Here's his at 335i Carlos, and like you mentioned before, CD919 is the one that tuned his car. Got a CSL style carbon fiber trunk, exhaust, BWE diffuser. I think he has a VRSF exhaust, I'm not entirely sure. We are in the 335. Dude, that sounds insane. You're not even pushing it. Dude, TR51 mod for the damn win. That sounds nuts. What exhaust are you running?
VRSF I've raced with a vibrant resonator.
Got it. Yeah, the traditional setup.
Yeah.
What about and then you have a Turbo Smart blow-off valve, right?
Yeah.
That's the first time I've actually heard the Turbo Smart blow-off valve
Sounds pretty good.
in person. It actually sounds pretty good, which by the way I also saw on the website down in the description below. And this is like an RTD style shifter?
No, it is RTD shifter.
It is RTD.
Yeah. You can do a little pull.
You can do a little one? Oh, that pulls insane. And that's only 18 pounds of boost?
Yeah, it's only 18 pounds.
Either I haven't drove my car in so long that I forgot what true power is, or this just feels fast. And the crazy thing is that the roads are wet, and we're on an open diff. And it was still fun as hell, and it still kind of put power down. Man, dude, I'm so excited for you, man. It's so awesome. It has to be a good feeling after what, like 3 months? Oh, well, I don't even know how long. It's been about 3 months, yeah. It's been about 3 months, man.
It's just after like owning these cars for like so many years, like you just get attached to them, you know?
That's what it is. It's the reason I won't get rid of the E90, even if everything blows up. I'll just keep fixing it up. Unfortunately, that's just how it works.
Yeah, because the thing is, people always sell their 335s, and they always end up buying another one. That's exactly what I did.
Right?
I sold my coupe. I was like, I need another one. I've got an E90 now, so.
That's it. That's exactly what ends up happening, man.
Single
Because
turbo.
no other platform has the potential,
Yeah.
maybe other than the Supra, but then it's expensive
Yeah.
to get those GTE engines.
These cars may not be the fastest in the street, but I mean, they're quick and they're fun for what they are. So.
Yeah, and they're not that expensive
Yeah.
to modify, right?
No, they're
The
not.
engines can take a lot of beating too.
Full bolt-on, everything that he sells can get you 500 horsepower easy.
Bro, real easy. That's it. Oh, you got the pop. You got the pop in between gears too.
Yeah.
That whine, man. It's almost like a supercharger on crack.
Supercharging cocaine.
Right, methed up, bro. What the hell?
Nah, bro, that mod is just worth it. Like, you just drive,
It's so good.
You're just chilling, you can just hear it. Like,
No, you hear it. You know what's the crazy thing is? That's the last thing I heard before your engine popped. It was that sound.
yep.
That's why I keep thinking back to what happened. That's what I heard, and I thought you were pushing. Oh no, it's the turbo's always
No, it's
making that
just-
noise.
Yeah, it's just the turbo just making that sound. That's just what the mod does. So for those of you guys that always ask me, twin upgrades or single turbo, I'm sorry, the twin turbo upgrade does not produce that excitement. It might be more linear, better for a track, a lot more predictable, but the amount of adrenaline you get off a single turbo just spool and launch is like a straight up roller coaster. I don't think a roller coaster can compare to it, to be honest. And twin turbo will never sound as good as single turbo.
No, it doesn't.
Never.
A straight pipe twin turbo just sounds like ass, but then the single turbo one sounds pretty good. Ali describes it as a dying goat. But
It's a Honda Civic.
it's a Honda Civic. Yeah, you pull out the trumpet. But that sounds really good. The main reason I didn't get the TR51R mod is back when I got my 6266 from Precision, they voided warranties for that mod.
Well,
And now they don't.
Yeah, they offer the service now.
No, they offer the service. Yeah, they offer the service now, but back then they didn't. And that's one of the reasons Doc Race didn't want to do it for me because, well, I guess he could have, but I would void the warranty and I didn't want to void the warranty. So I didn't do it. But now they offer it, and I think I'm just going to have to do it. I'm going to show you guys some drive-by shots, but I want to make sure everything's okay because we heard a little bit of sputtering noise. See the vacuum line? Yeah, you heard a little bit of, what do you hear? A little. You can really your that way.
Oh yeah, you blow that.
The car sounds insane on the inside, so I want to show you guys what it sounds like on the outside. This car just sounds different from my car, I guess because top mount versus bottom mount. I don't know, just a different sound. They equally sound good, but this sounds really good. Now that sounds magical. These lines kept popping out, so
Trash.
do them a favor, Carlos, and tell them where you got it and tell them not to get it.
Amazon, don't get them.
Don't get the red Amazon lines. They're not worth it. This one popped out too. That's why the car was making some awesome noises. And we got some replacement from Mr. Jess. Dude, did your hair get crazier by the time we made it back?
Yes.
That's the hair of an N54 mechanic. So we're gonna let these guys address the vacuum lines. We're gonna have to show you guys that. Appreciate you guys watching. Make sure to hit the like button before you guys leave. It does help out the channel. Congrats, dude.
Thank you, bro.
Happy to see your car running back how it's supposed to. The BMW Whisperer. See you guys in the next video.